Eliana, how late are you going to be out tonight? You hurry back to this house right now and start making me something to eat. Because you've been out of the house all day, my stomach has been in pain waiting for you to come back and cook. You really are the most useless woman ever, if you're willing to let an older woman starve because you want to be out of the house all the time. I've been acting like your parent this whole time, so come home and show me the respect I deserve. I'm starving.
I'm sorry, Isla. But I'm at the hospital right now, though. I have had to stay here a bit longer than I was expecting, so I won't be home until late tonight. Could you please make something for yourself?
Huh? The hospital? Why are you of all people at the hospital right now?
You're asking me why I'm here? Because just a little while ago, you came at me with a boiling hot cup of tea and threw it on my face. And because of that, my right eye has had a really hard time staying open due to the swelling. The doctor has already had a look at it and said it might be very difficult for me to see out of my right eye for a while after today.
And what does that have to do with me?
What?
I don't care about any of that. Now you get your butt home right now and start making me dinner. You are so stupid. Who do you think you are going to the hospital like that without my permission first anyway? I don't ever remember saying I was okay with you leaving this house. Now you get back here. Now!
I'm sorry, Isla. While texting you, I was asked by the doctor to go with him and have some more exams done on me. He has done everything he can and gave me some medication and wraps to use to help my face and eye. I'm sorry.
It's about time. Making me wait for an hour for a response like that. I can't believe you did all of that without telling me. You really are nothing but trouble, Eliana.
I'm sorry for leaving the house without your permission, but Isla, why did you come out of nowhere with scalding hot tea and throw it at my face? Tell me, what did I end up doing wrong that required you to do such a thing to me?
You're asking me? Eliana, I threw that tea at your face because you said you were going to that wedding.
What?
You were going on about it being your little sister's wedding or something like that. But that would mean you'd leave this house, you daft idiot. That's why I had to discipline you. You deserve to have your face burned and right eye screwed up.
You can't be serious. That is my sister, my one and only sister, and one of the last members of my family. That's why I wanted to go to her wedding.
Shut your mouth right now. I will not take that kind of talk from a complete stranger like you. I will have you thrown out of this house if you think you can slack off from your chores to be at your little sister's wedding. Now, if you still have any plans to go there, then go right ahead. But you will not be coming back to this house.
Understood. I'm sorry.
Don't you ever show me that kind of poor behavior ever again.
Kate, there's something I'm kind of wanting to ask you right now.
Oh, Eliana. Why are you texting me this late at night?
This has to do with your wedding tomorrow, actually. At the moment, I have a lot of bandaging around my face, covering my right eye. I'm sure there'll be a lot of people asking questions about me, and I might be taking their attention away from you, but would it still be okay for me to attend?
What? Your face is all bandaged up. What happened to you, Eliana? Did you get into a serious accident or something?
I really don't think I could call it an accident, but...
You're lying about that, right? There's no way. That's completely messed up. Nothing about that is normal for someone in your shoes to have to go through. Eliana, how are you normally being treated over at that household?
How am I normally being treated? I like to think this is how things are for me every day.
Are you kidding? So, you're telling me things like sustaining second and third degree burns on your face due to your mother-in-law is a common occurrence there?
Well, I'm sure what happens here isn't right. Actually, this was the first time I'd been hurt this badly by her. Normally, she'd just be pushing me down the stairs or throwing away my cooking and making me start again. There have also been times where she'd lock me in my room for a day or two.
She would lock you in your room for a day or two? None of that is anywhere close to normal, and it's outright dangerous. That is all absolutely screwed up. What you're having to go through. Nothing about that is normal. And what happened to your husband? He's living there with you as well, right? Has he not been saying anything to his mom about how she's treating you?
All he says to me is that things were a lot worse for him when he was younger, so I'm actually being treated pretty nicely by her.
Huh?
Well, I was always a little bit spoiled when I was younger, right? And that can be seen by how useless I am now, right? Well, my mother-in-law has stepped in for Mom and Dad and has been raising me the right way by disciplining me.
Wait a second. Are you actually being serious right now, Eliana?
Yes. I'm actually really thankful for what my mother-in-law has done for me. However, she told me that if I go to your wedding tomorrow, she would have me exiled from her house and that I'd never be able to go back there. That's left me feeling a little bit confused now. What should I do now? I'm not feeling good about either choice I have. I can't believe that someone as kind as her would say that she'd have me exiled from her house like that.
Eliana, put yourself together, please.
What?
Look, you and I, for the longest time now, we've both been raised with very different views of things from everyone else, right? I mean, Mom and Dad both beat us a lot when we were younger. And that's why we feel like we were always the bad children, and they were perfectly good parents. We never had the luxury of having loving parents. And we're told that all of our family members outside the house were fake, and just trying to tempt us away from them, right?
Well, they were, and that's why Mom and Dad never let us meet with any of them, because they were too kind.
Well, that was all wrong.
What do you mean?
My husband, when he learned about how much hell I'd been going through at home, he made sure to show me what a true loving family was. Him and his parents both gave me the warmth that my body had been needing from a family all my life. Right now I'm living with my husband's parents, right? Well, they have both done all they could to show me what having real, caring parents is like. And I thank them every day for that. When I come home to them, I scream out that I'm home and they greet me with hugs and kisses. That's the way normal families should be.
There's no way. That can't be true, right?
I'm sure. That's what you want to think, right? All right, I get it. At the moment, you don't want to go home to your family, right?
Not really. Actually, I don't think I can because of what my mother-in-law said.
Then you come to our house. I just spoke with my mother-in-law and she said it was totally okay for you to come here and stay the night with us. She said she'd even get the bath all warmed up and ready. Although you might now want to go in if your face is burned.
What?
You're still out and not near your in-laws, right? If you tell me where you're at, I can ask my father-in-law to drive us out to come get you. So please, tell me, Eliana.
How long have you been out of this house now without coming back? It's because you've been gone for so long now that the house is a mess. I'll forgive you for not coming home at all and making me my morning early breakfast. If you come home right now, you idiot woman.
I'm no longer going back to that house.
Huh? Do you have any idea what you're saying right now?
Today, I'll be at my little sister's wedding. Here, I'll be meeting with my real family and enjoying their presence. I even stayed with some of them last night, and that's where I learned what a true family is and how horrible things have been in that toxic environment you call your home.
What are you going on about? I am not here to listen to you go on about your delusions. So get home and start doing the chores right now.
I'm not going back. And since I'm a complete stranger, like you said, there's nothing I'm attached to there anymore.
Huh?
A while back, you threatened to have your son divorce me and even went out to get all the divorce papers filled out and ready to hand into the courthouse, right? Well, I took those from you after that day and have been holding on to them ever since. And just a little bit ago, I went and dropped them off at the courthouse before making my way to this wedding. So I am no longer a part of your family, fair and square.
What did you say?
I no longer am your son's wife, which means that you and I are now legally strangers to one another. I may have spent years taking loads of crap from you guys in that house, but I finally had enough of it last night and will no longer call myself your family. From now on, I'd like for you all to rot in hell there. I'm going to make sure that all those years of pain and torture you all put me through is thrown right back at you.
It's freaking pathetic watching you say things that don't make any sense at all to me. Did you seriously get a divorce from my son? I don't remember ever saying that you leaving my son was okay. I will not let you get away with doing something so selfish as that. Since I've been asking for you to come home all week, you haven't made even a single attempt to. I'm having all your things thrown out of your room right now. All of these lovely photos of you and your little sister together will all be thrown into the trash out back and burned up later. Is that really okay with you, Eliana? I'm sure that would break your heart, wouldn't it? Since you're now aware of what I'm willing to do, get your butt back to this house right now. If not, this is enough to make you understand just how much of a screw-up you've been. Then I'll have to take even more drastic measures.
Go ahead. If you want to toss all my things, be my guest.
Huh? Do you have any idea what I'm saying? These are not just empty threats coming from me.
I don't really care, honestly. It's not like I ever had much to begin with. Also, there are no photos of me and my little sister over at your house.
What?
My family wasn't the best when I was growing up anyway, so I never had many photos of my sister and I taken when we were together. I'm sure the only reason that you're trying to make threats like that towards me now is because you guys are in dire need of a working drone again, right? Well, I'm not going back to that life.
Just get your ass back here right now. The inside of this house is a dang mess, and I will not let it stay this way any longer.
Then how about you get back to it and clean your house up yourself? On another note, the bank will be asking you guys to pay off the rest of the loan here soon, so please do what you can to pay it off.
Huh? A loan? What the hell are you going on about now?
Both that house you all have been living in and that car you guys have been using were bought with loans, right? And my husband had been forcing me to pay off both those loans by myself. He told me that since I was the one working, I should be the one to pay things off in the house.
And that makes total sense to me. Since you were going to continue working after marrying my son, then you should be putting all that money into the house and family.
Yes, and I totally agree with that. Hence why I would put the $2,500 I made each month into the house. Yet that wasn't even enough, so I had to start using up my savings and putting in another $500 every month, making a total of $3,000. But now that I'm a complete stranger to all of you, there's no reason for me to be paying anymore, right? I want for you guys who are still living there and who are still using that car to pay instead of me.
Every month you were putting $3,000 into this house? There's no way we can cover that every month for you. I want to know why you were even having to pay that much. Are you trying to lie to me now in order to make yourself look good?
No, I think you've just forgotten is all. After you went and had the inside of the house completely remodeled and then all brand new furniture placed inside, the price of things went way up. And then you said when getting a new car that you wanted the most expensive SUV they had on the lot, which only made us have to get a bigger loan. Neither the house or that car are mine though, so there's literally no reason for me to have to pay for them anymore. If you're not going to be able to pay off the rest of those loans, then sell the house and the car. That will be your worst case scenario, I'm sure.
I am not screwing around right now. Why do we have to do all of that now? We are not paying for any of this. You are going to be paying for the rest of this house and car whether you like it or not. Eliana, why are you being such a child about all of this? Stop being such an embarrassment and come here, right now, to help us.
Good morning, Isla. And what could you be going on about today?
Don't you play dumb with me. I just got a call from the police explaining to me that I am a suspect in a crime and need to follow up with them. All I did was discipline you, all right? I can't believe that someone your age isn't aware of the most basic things, and I feel so bad for you because of that.
Ah, so that's what you're upset about. Well, that was me who informed the police about what happened.
Well, you tell those police to leave me alone, and then come back here and pay up. You're screwed in the head if you think that I'm a criminal.
Actually, the reason I think you're a criminal is because you are one. And so I had to tell the police about what you'd done.
Huh?
Even if it wasn't as bad as I first thought, you still assaulted me. There have also been cases of abuse within your house, both verbally and physically. Had I not told the police, then I would have never been able to live with the things that have happened to me. Of course, before I was able to live with what you'd done to me because I thought that was all normal. But now I'm very much aware of what happened to me was anything but. So now I'm going to make sure your crimes are handled in a professional and legal way.
You hold it right there. I have not done any of those things to you. Stop trying to frame me for something I haven't done.
Actually, you've done plenty of terrible things to me now, and that's why the police are taking all of this very seriously. All because you seem to think that me working a full-time job wasn't enough, and that I had to be home to take care of all the house as well for you. Then there were times you'd run your mouth about how terrible my cooking was and toss it all. Do you have any idea how much food you've wasted? I put in so much work making food for you and everyone else, yet there were times you wouldn't even try it, instead calling it disgusting before throwing it all away.
It's your fault for making such tasteless food for a household of classy eaters. Honestly, I just thought you were always trying to make food for us with leftovers. You can't call what I did a crime when it was only natural of me to do.
You really think I'm complaining about that alone?
Excuse me?
All those days you'd have guests over, I had to be the one to prepare everything. And if there was ever anything wrong, even if it was the slightest mistake regarding those preparations, you'd start to hit me in the back with a broom close to 100 times. Then there were the days you wouldn't let me eat anything while locking me in a room. Sometimes that would be for a few hours and other times a few days. There were plenty of times I thought I was going to die in that house. But I had no idea what a good family was and thought the way I was being treated was normal at the time. I always thought there was something wrong with me because my parents spoiled me with the idea that everything was my fault.
And you're right to think that because how you've been treated is normal. I've now had to take on the responsibility of disciplining a useless and dumb woman. And that means you have no right to be complaining about any of it.
But the thing is, your house has been anything but normal. When I told my little sisters-in-law all about what's happened there, they were all up in arms. And do you want to know what my sister's husband said? She said that the fact my own husband wouldn't even step in to protect me from you shows that he's messed up as well. He told me that my husband most likely didn't even love me. My sister's husband was furious to learn about what happened. And because of that, I finally realized that my husband wasn't meant for me. Having a family of people who have had nothing to do with me worrying so much finally opened my eyes to what the problems were. Everything that you guys have been doing to me was all criminal and has been dealt with.
What the actual hell is this? I have no idea what's going on. You've been brainwashed by those fools. Brainwashed! You've just been lied to by a family of heathens, and now you're having those strange delusions about what a family should really be.
Don't call my sister and her family heathens.
What?
They gave me a place to stay when I was worried about going back home to you. And they all listened to me and my concerns when I was about to break down and cry. They were all strangers to me who I had never even met before. Yet they were all worried about me and asked me over and over about what happened. This was the first time in my life where I had people around me who showed that they were really upset about what happened and wanted me to feel loved.
I can worry about you too. That's the whole reason I've started to message you like this in the first place.
The only thing you're worried about right now is the fact that you no longer have a slave in the house, right? I have finally been given the gift of love from a group of strangers and will no longer be going back to the place where I was abused. And until you all have paid for the pain you brought me, I am not ending my talks with the police. I'm not some doll that you all can get away with beating up now.
Huh? Don't you talk back to me like that. especially when you're the most useless and stupid woman to ever walk this earth.
Say whatever you'd like about me, but I am never going to feel scared and saddened about the things you say to me anymore. I'm going to make sure that in order to save everyone else from having to suffer through your guys' hell, that you are all crushed and can no longer get up.
If you think you can do anything to us, then show me. The most a weakling like yourself could possibly do to us is make us laugh. I'll show you, though. I'll make you regret ever baring your teeth like that to me. Hey, stop acting like a child and respond to me right now. What happened to all that power you had yesterday? You've always acted like a coward, so I'm sure there's no more fight left within you now. But I've had enough from you, so be ready for the beating of a lifetime. I'll make sure to discipline you with every bit of my body, so that you will never, ever talk back to me ever again.
Hello. Sorry for using my older sister's phone. I am her little sister Kate. My sister has had to spend years dealing with abusers and is now sound asleep, finally getting some good sleep at this house. That's why I'll be talking with you right now and letting her sleep in this morning.
Huh? So you're going to be taking her place talking to me then, huh? You have the same blood as that useless woman, so I'm sure you're just as pathetic, right? I'm sure whatever you have to say to me means nothing at all. So get your sister to talk to me right now, or I swear I'll...
And why should I have to listen to what a criminal wants? I'll make sure to have our lawyer get in touch with you soon, so you can have the much more serious talk with them. And if you're still talking like that, then good luck getting out of this mess you've created.
What? What the? You guys have a lawyer now?
Well, of course. Eliana needs to make sure she has someone to support her when asking for a settlement from you. And I'll have you know this right now. My sister is not changing her mind on what she wants from you. So I would highly recommend you and your family start working together with a lawyer if you hope to have any chance of lessening your punishments.
Wait, just a second. Why are you talking about something like that right now? A lawyer? A settlement? All of that is the kind of stuff you only hear about in dramas.
Well, unfortunately, right now we're dealing with a lot of drama, so this has to happen. What you did to my sister was all crimes, and some of those could have very well been considered life-threatening crimes. I think she has every right to have you all pay her a settlement for the damages and ask that the judge sentence you to some time. I'm hoping that she gets away with pulling a massive settlement from you before you go.
I'm not taking this from my daughter-in-law. I won't let her take anything from me or send me to prison. And having to pay for a lawyer would be a complete waste of our money. Eliana doesn't even have the money left either, so how is she paying for a lawyer in the first place?
If that's what concerns you, just know that my family is paying for her lawyer.
What?
My husband happens to be a lawyer himself, so he was able to find someone in his firm that could help us at a reduced cost. Actually, the man he's found for Eliana is one of the best lawyers in the city when it comes to things like domestic harassment and assault.
Your husband is a lawyer?
Yes, which means he is friends with a lot of the police force and has friends who are detectives as well. He's already gotten in touch with one of his detective friends, and they have begun to investigate your family to make sure they have accounts of all the things you've done. We already assumed we'd find lots of things like assault and harassment within your family, based off what Eliana told us. But who knew you guys were also known for theft and scamming? Seems you guys have been on the run from all that too.
You guys were able to find out about all of that as well?
Of course. But you guys were able to run away before the police or anyone could find you. Until now. So don't be surprised when the police begin to ask about that later as well. And the judge, of course. We've already told the police about it with the evidence we found, so it's only a matter of time before they come to your house. Be prepared to be taken into their custody soon.
Wait a second, please. You're only causing my head to spin more and more by saying that. So, can we please discuss this in...
We are not discussing anything with you anymore. We don't want to be in close proximity to those that not only assault and harass, but rob and scam people as well. It's time for you to be judged for your crimes, right? And once you've had to pay my sister for everything you've done to her, I believe you and your family will be losing everything. Normally, that would leave you on the streets with nothing at all. But luckily, you'll be in prison after paying, so you will still be fed and housed.
If that happens to me, I won't have a life after getting out. I don't care what all we did. You shouldn't be wanting to send us to jail, right? Do something to stop those police. If you let us all fall, then we'll never be able to get back up.
After all those years of hurting my sister under your oppression, what makes you think I'm listening to you now? This is what you deserve for your crimes. So take it on the chin like a man and stop being such a problem for everyone. You're nothing more than monsters. I won't let you do any of that crap to anyone ever again. Are you alright, Eliana? I'm glad to hear that your fever has gone down some, but if you want to eat something, please let me know. I can make you something up right now or order something. If you want some ice cream or some jelly, let me know, please.
Thank you, Kate. I'm sorry for leaving everything up to you in the end like that after passing out. I really am so weak.
What are you saying, Eliana? Your body is so beat up right now that I'd want you going to a hospital if I could have my way. When this is all over with, we're taking you to see a doctor, okay? We need to make sure there isn't something worse going on inside you, and that it will all heal with rest and time.
I'm sorry that this has all had to happen right after your wedding.
Stop apologizing to me for everything, okay? Also, this is me paying you back.
What?
The one who had always been protecting me from mom and dad back in the day was you. You also handled things like my college fees and telling mom and dad off when they came looking for me. I know that you've pretty much been doing everything to take care of me.
You knew about all of that?
I'm your little sister, aren't I? Of course I'd find out who was taking care of me like that when it's my own sister. I want to say, you have been working so hard all your life for other people besides yourself. So, from here on out, let me care for you. I'm not your little sister hiding behind your back anymore.
That's very true. I can't believe you grew up so fast without me ever noticing. I'm so happy.
Come on now! Stop talking like you're my mother or something.
I'm sorry. Someday I'm going to have to thank you properly for all of this.
And I'm telling you, you don't have to. All I ask is that you focus on getting better again. You have put up a fight for long enough now, and it's your time to relax. So, from now on, if you're starting to feel unwell or sick, let me know and I'll be there for you. When you passed out like that, I was freaking out.
Sorry about that. I didn't think that I'd be making all of you worry about me like that. I've always been so used to having to care for myself on my own, so when I saw all of you worrying about me, I had no idea what to do.
I'm sure you are still thinking about everything you'll have to do after today. But look, think of the time you have right now as rehabilitation. You don't have to overwork or anything, just as long as you take the time to feel better again.
That's true, actually. I'll think of things like that then.
See? I want you to start right now learning how to relax and let others do things for you. Actually, I want you to tell me right now how you feel about me. You've never said anything about how you think of me before, right? So, give it a try right now.
Now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever spoken out about anyone. Saying this right now is going to be a bit embarrassing. But if I don't say anything, you'll never know, right? So I'll say it. Thank you so much, and I love you a ton, Kate. In the end, everyone in Iris's family was arrested by the police and taken to jail where they all awaited their court hearings. There, I was able to get a settlement from both Iris herself and my ex-husband, which ended up being for more than they had combined in their bank accounts. Iris was also charged with multiple accounts of assault and 2 charges of attempted murder, while the whole family was charged with things like robbery, grand theft auto, and fraud. And just like I had told Iris, they all would end up going to prison to do some time, which is actually lucky for them considering they had to sell their house in order to pay those settlements off, so better there than nowhere at all. I think that my ex and his dad would be getting around 5 years in total, while Iris got 15 years, which at her age is pretty much a wrap. I can definitely say one thing, though, and that's that she will never be hurting anyone again, and I'm sure the same can be said for my ex, too. My sister was very happy with the end results, and I think her whole family was cheering when that trial and everything was over and finished in my favor. When that was all done, we went out for dinner at a 5-star hotel outside of town, where I got to have my first ever course dinner and have food cooked for me for once. I told everyone that since I'd be getting a lot of money from Iris and them, I'd pay for everyone's dinner. But the moment I brought that up to the family, every single person said no to me in unison, which just goes to show I'm in good hands now. As for myself, I was originally thinking that after my body had healed up and I got most of my sight back in my right eye, I'd leave my sister's family's house. But none of them wanted me leaving their house just yet, and instead chose to have me hired as their part-time housemaid. I am having to do a lot of the chores and cooking I was doing before. However, this time I was being paid to do them, while also being thanked and not having to worry about being hurt in any way. My body still has a ways to go in terms of healing, as my face is still getting some work done on it through grafting and having the wraps replaced. However, the doctor did say that in a few more weeks I could keep them off and start taking showers and things like that again. I also ended up going to see a doctor for a full body exam a week after everything was settled, and there I learned that I had broken one of my ribs at one point, but it was all healed up now and not worth worrying about. I was also told to start taking large amounts of vitamin D since it had been a long time since I last went into the sun and was starting to feel that for sure. All in all, though, my body did end up healing itself together pretty well. And the doctors told me that within a couple of months, I should be feeling 100%, as long as I kept on getting the sleep I needed and resting a lot. Right now, I think I'm feeling the happiest I've ever felt, and it only took me close to 30 years.